Germany's Foreign Minister Frank-Walter Steinmeier says the ceasefire in Ukraine has allowed for progress towards a political solution. He was after he met with French, Russian and Ukrainian foreign ministers. That was in Berlin. He also said the weapons could be withdrawn soon from the front lines.
It
shows that persistence is needed in the process of implementing the Minsk agreement. We haven't got as far as I would wish for, but our debate was better than the last two meetings. Today, it seems as everyone involved at the round table wanted progress, knowing the difficulties ahead of us.
Michael Bociurkiw joins us now live from Kiev. He's a spokesman for the OSCE Special Monitoring Mission in Ukraine. Can I ask you first of all, your organisation thinks this current ceasefire has actually created a window now for political progress. Tell us more about that.
Hello, Hannah. It's good to be with you. Well, there's been clearly a significant reduction in the number of ceasefire violations across the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. The OSCE Secretary General Zanya was here recently. We went to Mariupol, and I think he left with a sense of cautious optimism. Now, that window of opportunity needs to be taken advantage of, and the OSCE Special Monitoring Mission certainly will be doing that in the sense that we will be moving ahead with enhancing our observation capabilities. We have now about well over 500 monitors in Ukraine, of which 2/3 are in the eastern part of the country. And in addition, we have been using unmanned area vehicles for observation. We'll also be looking at using more high technology to do our observation purposes. Also, if I could add quickly, we've been quite successful in terms of using the COM to broker mini ceasefires where repair crews can actually go into what have been heavily damaged villages to repair things like power lines, waterworks, gas pipes, because this is very, very important to do before the onset of the coming winter.
Well, it's great that there is that progress. Mind you, the previous ceasefire earlier this year did fail to produce a resolution. How do you think this current ceasefire will be different?
Excuse me. Well, Secretary General Zanya said is that we're hopeful that this current COM is sustainable, that it remains in place, because you know what, Hannah, at the end of the day, the people that have suffered the most are the civilians. The UN estimates well over 2 million have been uprooted, up to 5 million have been impacted. And we know that from our monitors in the conflict zone that many people are suffering from things like lack of food, lack of essential pharmaceuticals. We visited many schools because children have gone back to school recently, and we've seen a significant reduction in the number of schools that have been open, in the number of school kids that are going to school. Many of them have had to walk to school in areas that have a lot of unexploded ordnance. This is another big threat to the civilian population. So there's a lot to be done in terms of, securing the area for the civilian population. And if I can add quickly, very, very crucial that those heavy weapons move away from populated areas, because what happens when those weapons are used, it invites return fire, and civilians die or are injured.
Also, you said over 500 workers on the ground. Whereabouts are they? How much access are they having with Ukrainians who are directly affected by the conflict?
They're based throughout Ukraine, and as I said, we have 2/3 in the conflict zone in several different cities, but primarily in Donetsk city, in Luhansk, and in Mariupol. Now, of course, in order for us to do effective monitoring, we need safe, number one, and number two, unfettered access. There have been some problems on both sides of the contact line in terms of getting access, for example, to weapons storage sites. It's very, very important that we go there whenever we can to verify whether weapons remain there or have been moved. And I can tell you that there are cases where weapons are still being moved, they're being used, or they're being used for training purposes. The other challenge, if you will, that we've been having is delays at checkpoints. Again, on both sides of the contact line, either not allowed to go through certain checkpoints or delayed quite significantly. So again, our Chief Monitor, Ambassador Apakan, and also Secretary General Zenya have called on both sides for that secure and unfettered access for OSCE Special Monitoring Mission monitors.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Michael Bociurkiw, who joined us there from Kiev.